So let's take a look at conversions. So a big part of this class is conversions in science in general. So let's take a look at this. I got 25.6 inches. I want to convert to centimeters. Whenever you have a conversion, the important thing is you need to get an equivalent relationship. I need to relate inches to centimeters. This is either I'll give it to you or you can look it up. In this case right here, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So that's the relationship between inches and centimeters. Now, a couple of things. Whenever I have an equivalent relationship, I can write something called unit factors. We'll be doing this a lot this course of this semester. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 1 inch by 2.54 centimeters and then do the opposite. So I'm going to say 1 inch call that A, and then B now, over 1 inch. So a couple of things. This is called dimensional analysis. I'm going to keep track of the units. That's the main thing. So I have this. So again, for the equivalent relationship, I got this and I got this. So for every equivalent relationship, I can write 2 unit factors. Now our general template is going to be what's given times unit factor. Could be unit factors, we use more than one, units wanted. Again, do conversions any way you want to. This is just a method that we use a lot in science, but you never have to use this method if you don't want to. The what's given is always in the original problem. So it's going to be this right here. So it's not going to be the equivalent, it's not going to be the unit factor, it's always the one in the original. So in this case, it's 25.6 inches. I want to end up with centimeters, so that's my units wanted. What happens is, since I want to end up with centimeters, the unit factor that has centimeters on top, that's the one we want to use. So let's just go ahead and use this one. So 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. We're going to cancel out units. So notice the inches cancel out. And I'm left with centimeters. I want to be left with centimeters on top, which is what I got, and my inches cancel out. If I work this out, it's going to be 65.0 centimeters. In terms of significant figures, it's always by the original problem. So we don't really worry about the unit factors too much. So this is, it has 3. That final answer is going to have 3 significant figures. So for the second one, we're actually going to use 2 unit factors. It's a little bit longer, but it's basically the same thing. So in this case right here, I'm going to say, okay, 3.4 cups to milliliters. Now, I don't know the direct relationship between cups and milliliters, but I'm going to break it down. I know that 1 cup is 8 ounces, so this is our first equivalent relationship. And then I know that 1 ounce is 29.6 milliliters. So I can go from cups to ounces and ounces to milliliters. This is an extra step. It's going to work out basically the same. So again, this is my equivalent relationship. I can break it down to 1 cup over 8 ounces over 1 cup. Same with this. 1 ounce over 29.6 milliliters, and 29.6 milliliters over 1 ounce. Write down what's given. So the what's given is always the original. So 3.4 cups. I need to end up with milliliters. So that means now my last unit factor has got to have milliliters on top. So that's always kind of crucial. Again, I'll put this over 1. So I can go from cups to ounces. So I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to say, well, 8 ounces is 1 cup. So my cups cancel out. And then I can go from ounces to milliliters. I know that 1 ounce is 29.6 milliliters. So again, I'm left with milliliters on top. One thing about this, when you're working this out, is that everything on top you multiply. So it's 3.4 cups times 8 times 29.6. The bottom is the denominator. So in this case, we just divide by 1. But just realize, this is multiplication on top, and then we divide these by the bottom numbers. When you do that, I'm going to get 805 milliliters. Couple of things. This one right here has 2 significant figures. which means my final answer's got to have 2. So I got to round this off at 2 significant figures. I can do this a couple of different ways. I can round this off to 810 milliliters, or I could say 8.1 times 10 squared milliliters. So again, sometimes I may ask you to round off the correct number of significant figures. Sometimes I'm not. It just depends with that. But again, that has to round off at 2 significant figures.